You become what you believe. There comes a moment in every human life when the mirror stops lying. Not because the reflection changes. Not because the world suddenly becomes fair. But because deep inside, a voice begins to whisper a question that can no longer be ignored. Who are you becoming? Not who were you yesterday. Not who people think you are. Not who circumstances have forced you to be. Who are you becoming? Because whether you realize it or not, every thought you entertain, every word you repeat, every belief you accept is shaping the person you are becoming. Most people spend their lives trying to change their results while never changing the beliefs that create those results. They focus on the branches while ignoring the roots. They chase success while carrying a mindset designed for failure. But life does not respond to wishes. Life responds to conviction. The world you experience is often a reflection of the beliefs you hold within yourself. If you believe you are powerless, you will hesitate. If you believe you are unlucky, you will overlook opportunities. If you believe you are destined for greatness, you will begin acting in ways that move you toward it. That is why belief is not merely optimism. Belief is creative power. Belief is the blueprint from which your future is built. Every great achievement in history began as an invisible idea supported by unwavering faith. Before the invention existed, before the fortune was made, before the victory was achieved, there was belief. When Thomas Edison worked relentlessly to create the electric light, thousands of failures stood in his path. Yet he refused to see failure as defeat. He saw each attempt as one step closer to success. When Abraham Lincoln faced rejection after rejection, he could have surrendered to disappointment. Instead, he chose persistence. When Henry Ford dreamed of placing automobiles into the hands of ordinary people, experts dismissed him. Yet his vision remained stronger than their opinions. History remembers these individuals not because they avoided obstacles but because they refused to let obstacles define them. The same principle applies to your life. Every dream you have is asking one question. Do you believe enough to continue when evidence is absent? Because that is where most people quit. They are willing to believe when results appear. They are willing to stay committed when progress is visible. But true belief reveals itself when nothing seems to be happening. When the work feels invisible. When the journey feels lonely. When the outcome remains uncertain. That is the moment that separates dreamers from achievers. The seed does not become a tree overnight. For a long time, growth remains hidden beneath the surface. Roots develop where nobody can see them. Strength forms in silence. Preparation occurs underground. And then one day, what was invisible becomes impossible to ignore. Success works the same way. People often see the breakthrough. They rarely see the years of discipline that created it. They see the victory. They do not see the sacrifices. They see the confidence. They do not see the doubts that were conquered. Every extraordinary result is built upon countless ordinary actions repeated consistently over time. This is why discipline matters. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. Some days you will feel inspired. Other days you will not. If your future depends on your feelings, your future will remain unstable. Discipline creates consistency. Consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. And confidence creates results. The individuals who transform their lives are not necessarily the most talented. They are often the most committed. They continue when others stop. They persist when others quit. They believe when others doubt. The world rewards those who refuse to abandon their vision. But belief alone is not enough. Belief must be supported by action. A dream without action remains fantasy. A goal without effort remains an idea. You cannot think your way into success while refusing to move toward it. The bridge between possibility and reality is action. Every step forward sends a message to your mind. Every challenge overcome strengthens your identity. Every promise kept to yourself builds self-respect. And self-respect becomes the foundation of confidence. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. You build it by doing difficult things. You build it by honoring your commitments. You build it by continuing forward even when fear tries to stop you. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is often proof that growth is near. Every meaningful achievement requires stepping beyond familiarity. The comfort zone may feel safe, but nothing extraordinary grows there. The comfort zone offers security. Growth offers possibility. And possibility always demands courage. Think about the people who inspire you. The leaders. The innovators. The visionaries. None of them achieved greatness by avoiding discomfort. They embraced uncertainty. They accepted risk. They understood that every new level of success requires becoming a new version of yourself. Because success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by becoming the person capable of creating it. The person you are today has produced the results you currently have. If you desire different results, you must develop different habits, different standards, and different beliefs. Transformation begins internally before it appears externally. First, the mind changes. Then actions change. Then results change. This is the order that cannot be reversed. The world often teaches people to seek external validation, to wait for approval, to depend on applause. But the strongest individuals learn a different lesson. They learn to trust themselves. They learn to continue without recognition. They learn to believe before others believe. Because if your confidence depends on the opinions of others, your confidence will disappear whenever criticism appears. True strength comes from within. It comes from knowing who you are, knowing where you are going, and refusing to allow temporary circumstances to define your permanent identity. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be moments when the path seems impossible. But every challenge carries a lesson. Every obstacle contains an opportunity. Every difficulty develops strength. The strongest steel is forged through intense heat. The strongest character is forged through adversity. Do not wish for an easier journey. Become a stronger person. Do not ask life to remove every obstacle. Ask yourself to develop the power to overcome them. Because greatness is not reserved for a chosen few. It belongs to those who decide to pursue it relentlessly. It belongs to those who refuse to surrender their dreams. It belongs to those who continue moving forward long after others have stopped. And it begins with a decision. A decision to stop limiting yourself. A decision to stop doubting your potential. A decision to stop living beneath your possibilities. The future is not something that happens by accident. The future is created by daily choices, by daily beliefs, by daily actions. Every day you are casting votes for the person you will become. Every thought matters. Every action matters. Every decision matters. Because the greatest truth you will ever discover is this: you do not become what you wish for. You do not become what you hope for. You do not become what you talk about. You become what you repeatedly believe, consistently practice, and courageously pursue. And when your belief becomes stronger than your fear, stronger than your excuses, and stronger than your doubts, the world begins to open doors that once seemed impossible. Because in the end, your destiny is not determined by where you start. It is determined by what you choose to believe about yourself. And the moment you choose to believe in your highest potential, you begin the journey toward becoming it.